So in this video I'm going to show you how to create an enclosure for your jumping spider. Hello, my name is Stuart Wood and welcome to my YouTube channel. And if this is your first time here, then click the subscribe button, click the bell icon to get notified of whenever new videos go live. So a common question I've been asked is how to keep jumping spiders. So I thought I would do two videos to cover this subject. The first one, which is this video, is how to create an enclosure for them. And then the next video is going to be like a care video. So you've seen my videos, you've seen my jumping spiders. A lot of people are like, that's a really good idea. They like the idea of having a jumping spider. And they want a jump spider of their own. I'll try to provide links to all the things I used in this video in the description below. Now typically if you get a young spider, it will come in a tub like this. It's a little tub that you have your spider in. Now spiderlings come in these and they're referenced as slings. As your spider grows up and gets bigger, you'll need to get a bigger cage. Now an adult one can fit in one of these. This is a deli cup that's got a little bit of mesh in the top. What you have to make sure is that your enclosure has plenty of ventilation. Once you have your spider in a nice little enclosure, you might want to move on to something that looks just a little bit more impressive when it's on the shelf. So what I've done is I've created this enclosure here. Now you saw this in one of the previous videos I've done. And this is a very cheap enclosure to make. I'm going to take you through exactly how I made this right now. The first thing we need is this. This is a sweet jar. You can orientate it different ways. So it's up to you which way round you want to put it. And I got this sweet jar from, I believe it's called Poundland. It's a pound shop here in the UK and I paid £1 for this sweet jar. You have to bear in mind when you're making the enclosure that the spider will most likely go up to the top of the enclosure to make its hammock, where it will stay there overnight where it feels safe. It will also molt in this hammock. So the first thing we need to do is to take the lid off and we're going to cut out the centre part. Now to do this I used a craft knife. You can use anything you want. I would recommend maybe a Dremel to do it because it's quite hard with a craft knife. So I'll cut round the outside and then put a X in the middle to push it through to be able to cut it out. Once I've done that, you have something like this. And this is one I prepared earlier. So you'll find that the inside is a little bit rough, so we're going to sand that down. Just to make it look just a little bit more presentable. Once you finish sanding the lid, you'll need to get some mesh. Now I've got this mesh here. There are different prices, but again, the links are in the description below. We're going to put the lid on the mesh and mark out the circumference with a marker pen. Once we've done that, we're going to take some scissors and cut out the mesh. So once we've done that, we need to stick the mesh onto our lid, and to do that we're going to use a glue gun. I'll simply put the glue onto the lid. Next, all we need to do now is to place the mesh on the lid. So here's the finished lid, one I prepared earlier. And once we've done that, we can put that back onto our sweet jar, and the sweet jar is now ready to be decorated. For the substrate, I'm using a mixed desert substrate. I find this substrate to be very, very well suited for my needs. You, of course, can use different substrates. Some of the wet substrate, I find that stuff kind of goes mouldy and you get mould inside of your enclosure, whereas the desert one seems to keep it quite clean. I'm going to add some cork bark and other little bits and pieces just to decorate the cage. We're going to put in some of these. These are artificial flowers that I got again from the pound shop. I'm going to cut them shorter with pliers and then place them inside of our jar. So I went and got some moss from a pet store. Anywhere that does any type of reptile pet supplies, you'll find all the stuff that you need to decorate these enclosures. But that is my finished one. Make sure you buy stuff to decorate your enclosure that you know is come from a clean place, such as a pet supply store or from your own source. Do not go out into the wild and grab something out of the woods because you don't know what's on it and you don't know if it's got pesticides on it, and it will affect your spider, and in worst case scenarios it could kill them. All I have to do now is I just have to get Doris and the little slings and put them inside of the jar. And as you can see, she's absolutely loving her new enclosure. And overall, they are absolutely loving it. As you can see, these look a lot better on my shelf than those little tubs or the deli cup. I think these turned out absolutely fantastic. So there you go, that's how I created my enclosures for my spiders, and as you can see, the spiders seem to be enjoying themselves. Now in the next video, what I'm going to do is cover the care of the spiders. This includes the misting and what I feed them. That'll be on the next video. So if you are looking to get a spider, I would ask you to wait until you get that video, so you've got all the information you need to care for your spider. So that's it from this video, just a quick video to show you how to do those enclosures. And I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you find it useful. Again, in the description you'll have links to all the things I use to create these enclosures. So that's it for me for this video. My name is Stuart Wood, and again I will see you on the next video.